They told you to follow your dreams. They sold you the image of the massive launch, the perfect timing, the seed funding, the smooth runway. But they didn't tell you about the empty bank account, the zero contacts, the stack of bills on your counter, and the crippling doubt that tells you to wait. They told you, go big. I'm here to tell you to start small, start ugly, start today. Look around you. You think having nothing is your disadvantage? Wrong. Nothing is your greatest asset. It forces absolute clarity. You can't afford distractions. It demands hustle. You can't buy shortcuts. And it guarantees that your motivation is not based on ego, but on necessity. If you have nothing but a burning, undeniable desire to build something real, this is your 20-minute blueprint. You've been lied to. The biggest misconception in business is that capital is the biggest barrier. It is not. The real barrier is the waiting mindset, the paralyzing fear that makes you believe you need permission, funding, or a sign from the universe before you can start moving. We are here to smash that myth. For the next 18 minutes, we will not talk about venture capital, large loans, or complex business plans. We will focus entirely on what you have right now, your sweat equity, your existing skill audit, and the power of direct outreach. We are going to break down the 3 fundamental pillars that turn zero into a solid foundation. Pillar 1, the zero mindset. This is about using lack of resources as fuel. Pillar 2, the first 100 service. This is about defining the single valuable thing you can sell immediately. And Pillar 3, $0 marketing. This is your strategy to find your first client without spending a single dime on ads. Your foundation starts now. The first step in building a business from $0 is realizing you are rich in the one currency that actually matters: time and necessity. You do not have money, but you have the luxury of spending every available hour building the wall that will eventually free you. Every single hour you previously dedicated to entertainment, distraction, or mindless consumption must now be transferred directly to your business account. This is the sweat equity. Every minute your competition spends managing staff or overhead, you spend acquiring a new skill or reaching out to a new prospect. Necessity, the mother of invention, is now your CEO. Use the pain of your current financial situation, the stress of those pending bills, and the sheer humiliation of your circumstance, not as an excuse to quit, but as a burning chemical fuel. Necessity is the greatest external motivator. It strips away comfort and forces efficiency. You cannot afford mistakes, so you must learn faster. You cannot afford wasted effort, so you must target with precision. Embrace the pressure. It is not a burden. It is the force that will mold you into a disciplined, unstoppable entrepreneur. The man who has been pushed to the edge fights harder than the man who is already comfortable. Remember that and use it. The scarcity trap is not a shortage of resources, it is a shortage of courage. The trap is believing you need the perfect logo, the perfect website, the perfect office, or the perfect idea before you can begin. This paralysis by analysis is the single biggest killer of dreams. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the big idea. Perfectionism is procrastination dressed in a fancy suit. Instead, your mantra must be, start with a mediocre idea and execute it perfectly. You don't need a revolutionary product. You need a reliably delivered service. Your goal right now is not to scale to millions. Your goal is to generate your first 100, then your first 1,000. That is the proof of concept. Embrace the fail faster principle. Since you have no capital to invest, your failures cost you time, not large sums of money. Every mistake you make, a cold email that misses, a service that takes too long to deliver, is a free lesson that your competitor, relying on funding, had to pay thousands of dollars for. Document these failures, learn from them instantly, iterate and move on. Speed is the only advantage a zero-budget business has over a well-funded corporation. Move with speed, prioritize execution, and let the market refine your mediocre idea into a brilliant one. For the first 90 days, the critical foundation period, you must understand that there is no balance. The concept of work-life balance is a luxury earned by those whose systems are already automated and profitable. Your business is not a hobby. It is a life-or-death mission to escape stagnation, and you must treat it with that level of gravity. This requires obsession. You must become the single point of failure and the single source of power. Every decision, every action must be filtered through one question: does this directly move me closer to my next paid client? This obsession requires discipline, the kind of discipline that forces you to work the 2 hours before your day job starts and the 3 hours after everyone else has gone to bed. This is not about hustling for the sake of looking busy. It is about strategic, focused, relentless effort applied where it yields the highest return. If you are starting from nothing, you cannot afford to coast. You cannot afford to be distracted. You are in a 90-day sprint to create momentum, to gain proof of concept, and to generate the revenue necessary to buy back your time. Sacrifice comfort now, and you will earn freedom later. The critical turning point when building from nothing is understanding that your first business must be a service business, not a product business. A product requires inventory, manufacturing, development, and complex financing, all things you lack. A service requires only your time, your skill, and your commitment. The entire purpose of this initial phase is to use service revenue to fund your eventual product or scale. The path begins with the skill audit. Stop looking outside yourself for the next big thing and look at what you already possess. Ask yourself, what is one thing I know how to do better than 80% of people? Don't overcomplicate this. Is it writing sharp, mistake-free emails? Is it efficiently organizing digital files? Is it cleaning a messy garage until it sparkles? Every skill is a commodity if applied correctly. Write a comprehensive list of all your marketable skills, no matter how small or mundane they seem. Then, identify a pain point that someone else would pay to avoid. Your first offer is at the intersection of your existing skill and someone else's persistent headache. Remember, you are not inventing a new industry. You are identifying a weakness in an existing one and offering yourself as the immediate, inexpensive solution. Once you have identified your skill, you must learn to solve the micro problem. This is where most aspiring entrepreneurs fail. They try to be too broad. They say, I do digital marketing, or I offer life coaching. That's solving a macro problem. It's too vague, too expensive, and too competitive. You must instead solve a tiny, specific problem for a specific person. Specificity is currency. For example, instead of I do digital marketing, your offer should be I help local plumbers in the DFW area get 5 new 5-star reviews on Google every month. This is a service that is easy to deliver, easy to price, and solves an immediate, painful problem for a clearly defined niche. When you are specific, you eliminate 99% of your competition, and you become instantly recognizable to the one who truly needs you. Your initial client base is not the entire world, it's a tiny village. Serve that village flawlessly, solve their tiny problems with extreme precision, and they will pay you immediately because the value proposition is undeniable and easily measurable. This focus on the micro problem leads directly to the first dollar proof. Your number one business priority is not profits, it is validation. Charge something, even a very small amount, for your service. Do not work for free unless it is explicitly traded for a testimonial, which we will discuss next. The first dollar you earn is the most valuable dollar you will ever make. It is the psychological proof that your concept is viable, that someone else is willing to exchange their hard-earned money for the value you provide. It changes your mindset from dreamer to business owner. It is the concrete evidence that you can provide a repeatable, desirable service. The transaction is the proof. Once you have earned that first dollar, you have solved the hardest part of the equation, going from 0 to 1. This single act gives you the confidence, the data, and the right to charge more for the next client. So, define your single microservice, identify your ideal client, and write down your clear, simple, first offer today. That is your action step. When you are operating on a zero budget, you must recognize that you cannot compete with the corporations that spend millions on mass advertising. Therefore, your marketing strategy is the direct antithesis of theirs. It is based purely on direct, personalized, relentless effort. Forget Facebook ads, that requires money. Your marketing budget is now measured in personalized messages sent and specific value propositions delivered. This is direct outreach, the hard way. Your mission is to write 10 cold emails or direct messages to 10 specific people who you genuinely believe need your microservice. This is not spam. You must personalize every single message. Do not use templates. Show them that you have researched their business, identified their specific pain point, and know exactly how your microservice can solve it. For example, I noticed your Google reviews are slipping. I can implement a system to capture 3 new 5-star reviews within the next 2 weeks. Here's how. This approach is slow, it is tedious, and it is uncomfortable. But it costs $0 and yields a far higher conversion rate than generic mass marketing. Once you land those first few clients, you must leverage the testimonial strategy. When you have no brand reputation, you need to borrow trust from others. Offer your service free to the first 3 clients in exchange for 2 non-negotiable things. First, a public video testimonial where they clearly state the problem they had and the specific result you delivered. And second, permission to document the results with clear, measurable data. This is an exchange of value. They get your service for free, and you get the social proof that is infinitely more valuable than their cash at this stage. These testimonials are your new sales force. They are your portfolio. They are the data that proves you are not just selling a dream, but delivering a measurable outcome. Future clients will not believe what you say about your service, but they will absolutely believe what a satisfied customer says about their results. Treat these first 3 clients like gold. Over-deliver. Your YouTube channel, your short-form videos, your blog, your social media posts. This is your free billboard, your 24/7 sales representative, and your most valuable asset. But you shouldn't just talk about the results. You must teach what you are learning and document your progress. Show the struggle. Show the execution. Explain how you helped the local plumber get those 5-star reviews. People are not just invested in the destination, they are invested in the journey, especially when that journey starts from the bottom. By openly sharing your insights, your mistakes, and your process, you build authority and trust. This is the ultimate zero-cost strategy. Every piece of content you create is an investment that pays dividends in credibility and leads, positioning you not just as a service provider, but as a thought leader who understands the grind. Your effort becomes your capital. We've covered the blueprint. We showed you how $0 is not a setback, it is a strategic advantage. It strips away the noise and leaves you with the only assets that matter: your time, your skill, and your necessity. You now understand the 3 pillars. Pillar 1, the zero mindset, using pressure as fuel, failing fast, and choosing obsession over balance. Pillar 2, the first 100 service, auditing your skills, solving a micro problem, and validating your offer with that critical first dollar. And Pillar 3, $0 marketing, embracing direct outreach, trading free work for invaluable social proof, and leveraging content as your non-stop capital engine. The transition from 0 to success is not a random lottery win. It is not about luck. It is about the relentless application of focused effort. The man who starts with nothing has absolutely nothing to lose, and that is a power your funded competition will never possess. You don't need a loan. You don't need a mentor. You need discipline and movement. You don't start rich, you start dedicated. The 0 you are looking at today is the foundation for the million you will build tomorrow. Stop looking for excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The moment is now. Start building. Comment below right now and tell me, what is the one micro problem you will solve for someone this week? Let's see your commitments.